She lived a lifestyle that almost ruined her life. Will she ever regret it? Come with me, let's find out together. Hey friends, welcome to another mind-blowing movie from your amazing actors and actresses. I know you don't want to miss out on this wonderful one because it's so educative and full of real-life drama. But before we dive in, why don't you subscribe for more captivating movies from us? The story begins with a young lady named Ruby who was seen making a video showing off her new house that she just got, also having fun with her fans. After that, she went back home, scrolling through her phone and laughing. Her friend stepped in, surprised at the video she posted, and asked when she got a house. Well, guess what? It was all fake for her fans to believe. Her friend was not happy with the kind of life she was living, but Ruby was more concerned about making money with her fake lifestyle. That same day, we meet another young lady named Lucia, who came downstairs dressed to go out with her boyfriend named Bishop. But then, he started complaining about her dress code, saying all sorts of words to her. After that, they left. The next day, at Ruby's house, while scrolling through her phone, she came across a rich, handsome guy. She prayed to God to bless her with such a man, while her friend was more concerned about her lifestyle. But even if she got such a man, would she still keep pretending? That same day, Bishop was with his friend at the bar having a drink as they discussed. Bishop talked about his plans to start up a family. His friend Ken told him to propose to his girlfriend Lucia, but he refused, stating that he couldn't marry someone who didn't know how to dress or wear makeup, saying she wasn't his class. Wow. Ken was surprised and laughed over it. The next day, Ruby was seen doing her nails as she went live chatting with her fans. After that, she went to make her payment, but her card declined insufficient funds. She was shocked and tried again, but it repeated the same thing. The madam came out to know what was going on. But when the sales girl explained, the madam asked her to let Ruby go, saying she was her favorite customer and would definitely pay. After that, Ruby left. Back at Bishop's house, Lucia was seen jotting down things she needed to buy to stock the kitchen. Meanwhile, Ruby was again making a video, this time showing off her new car to her fans, advising them not to date broke guys because her man just got her a new car. Afterwards, she went inside the car, still recording videos, and drove off to do some shopping for herself. However, that same day, Lucia was cleaning Bishop's house. Guys, you won't believe what I'm about to tell you. Ruby rented that particular car. The owner was upset with her for keeping it longer than they agreed. As if that wasn't enough, she still tried to convince the man to let her keep the car since her fans had already seen it. But guess what? He ignored her and sent her away. That same day, Bishop got back from work. Lucia went to welcome him, but as usual, he talked down on what she was wearing, telling her to dress sexy, put on makeup, and look good. Wow, this is serious. Like, guys, why are some men like this? Personally, I see nothing wrong in her dressing decently and being herself. But anyways, what's your opinion? Drop your comments in the comment section. Later that day, Lucia excitedly went to Bishop while he was working to share her excitement about what happened at her workplace. But from the look on his face, he wasn't interested in what she was saying. Still that day, Ruby's friend was shocked at the amount she spent just to cover up her fake lifestyle, 250,000 naira. She was upset, knowing fully well they had nothing to eat at home. Yet Ruby went out spending such an amount of money. The next day, while Bishop was working, Lucia brought him fruit, thinking he would need it since he was busy. That same day, Ruby went back to return the wig she rented, which was already past the deadline. However, when the lady checked, the wig was rough, so she stopped Ruby, requesting 20,000 naira to rebrand the wig. Ruby was shocked, but had no choice but to pay for the damage. The following day, Ruby's friend called her, saying her phone had been vibrating for a while. Immediately she checked, it was one of her fans who wanted to go on a date with her. She blushed, showing her friend the handsome man. But her friend was surprised, calling him a matured man, not a guy. She warned Ruby to be careful, but Ruby was only concerned about the money, insisting her friend should lend her something to wear for the date. Hours later, she went on the date with the man, who gave her 150,000 naira, half of the 300,000 she demanded. She was pissed off because she wasn't expecting such a small amount from him. After some chatting, she left. Back at home, Ruby sat moody, disappointed about the money she received, thinking he would be a big fish for her, but he wasn't. The next day, while Bishop and Lucia were at a restaurant having a nice time, Ruby walked in looking stunning as all eyes turned to her, including Bishop. Oh yes, you heard me clearly. However, Bishop was unable to concentrate on Lucia, who didn't even notice anything. It wasn't until Ruby walked outside that Bishop quickly followed her without Lucia knowing. Bishop went out to speak with Ruby, trying to get her attention, even referring to Lucia as his uncle's salesgirl, just to get Ruby's number. Eventually, she gave him her contact. Ruby got home that day so excited, giving her friend the full gist that she had finally met her dream man. The following day, Ruby went on a date with Bishop. They both chatted, getting to know each other, and soon, Bishop asked her to be his girlfriend. 2 days later, Bishop was getting dressed to go out when Lucia asked if she could follow him. But he lied, saying the gathering was only for men. She was surprised, but what could she do? The next day, Bishop was with his friend, chatting about Ruby. His friend warned him about her, but Bishop ignored the warning. The following day, Ruby came to visit Bishop at his house. He admired her beauty, they chatted for a few minutes, and then he brought out champagne for her to cool off. That night, Bishop and Ruby were on the bed, but truth be told, he wasn't fully there with her. She grew concerned and asked what was going on, but Bishop brushed it off, kissing her to avoid more complaints. Meanwhile, the next evening, Bishop and Ruby were again on the bed, chatting and having fun, when suddenly Lucia walked in, shocked to see them together. Ruby was furious at Bishop, who had lied to her that he had already broken up with Lucia. Angry and disappointed, she stormed out. Bishop, however, felt no remorse. Instead, he broke up with Lucia that very minute. She told him he didn't deserve a woman like her, then walked away. Yes, indeed, Bishop didn't deserve a woman like Lucia. 3 days later, Lucia came back to Bishop's house, heartbroken. He hadn't called or checked up on her. After some talking, Lucia decided to let everything go, telling him there were many men out there who wanted her, but she chose to stay because she loved him. Shockingly, Bishop told her to go to those men, as he was done with her. Lucia was crushed. After spending 5 years of her life with him, doing all a wife could do to keep her man, Bishop still threw her away. With a heavy heart, she picked up her belongings and left. The next day, Ruby returned to Bishop's house. They chatted, and she happily accepted him back. Later, Bishop was seen with his friend, who was deeply disappointed in him for letting Lucia go just like that. Back at Ruby's house, she was overjoyed that she was about to move into Bishop's apartment. But still, her friend advised her to be careful. 2 days later, Ruby went back to the wig store to buy more wigs. The lady there was shocked but humbled herself and sold to Ruby. That same day, Bishop returned from work, and Ruby welcomed him warmly. Later that evening, Ruby and Bishop were in the living room chatting when Ruby suggested they should get a maid to assist with the house chores since she would be busy with her job. Bishop agreed. The following evening, Ruby came downstairs and perceived a strange smell. She called the maid, asking what she was cooking that smelled so bad. Afterwards, she sat her down and showed her a YouTube video on how to prepare continental dishes. The next day, Bishop and Ruby were in the living room. When Bishop became hungry, Ruby asked the maid to bring juice first, before the food. But the maid served it poorly, which made Ruby angry as she began nagging. That same day, Bishop's friend came around and witnessed Ruby's behavior. He wasn't happy with what he saw and was disappointed in Bishop's choice. Later, Ruby was seen at her friend's house, chatting about Bishop. She seemed truly in love and believed he loved her too. She was super excited, convinced she had finally won a wealthy man. The next morning, Bishop was dressed for work. He went to check on Ruby, who was still asleep. Noticing she felt weak, he advised her to rest before leaving for work. That same morning, Ruby found out she was pregnant. Overjoyed, she couldn't contain her excitement. Later that afternoon, Ruby was lying on the bed crying when Bishop arrived. Concerned, he asked why, until she showed him the pregnancy result. Bishop was overjoyed. It was finally time to meet her family and proceed with marriage. The next day, Bishop and Ruby came downstairs arguing. Bishop wanted to go see her family to proceed with the marriage rites, but Ruby refused, stating she was an orphan and didn't want to have anything to do with her father's people because they once tried to take her inheritance. Bishop was so pissed off with her. The following day, Bishop came into the living room, picked up Ruby's phone, and saw a message. He then called her out to check it. Anyway, from the look on his face, the message wasn't pleasant. The next day, Bishop was with his friend, explaining how he felt. He felt used by Ruby. A day later, Ruby went back to Bishop's house to plead with him, but he refused to forgive her and chased her away, not wanting to see her again. That same day, Bishop went to see Lucia to reconcile with her and plead for her forgiveness. He admitted his mistake, but Lucia made it clear that she didn't want to have anything to do with him again. Back to Ruby, who was seen crying as all her fake lifestyle had come to an end. However, her friend consoled her. Ruby suggested she would go back to Bishop and plead with him again, but her friend advised her not to. 2 days later, Bishop's friend went to plead with Lucia to forgive Bishop, but she had already made up her mind that she wasn't going back to him. Bishop and his friend were seen chatting, as his friend told him that Lucia had moved on and he should also move on. Bishop was not happy about it, realizing he had just let a good woman slip out of his hands. Months later, one afternoon, while Bishop was walking, someone called his name. As he turned to see who it was, to his surprise, it was Ruby, now heavily pregnant and looking rough. Bishop was shocked at her condition. She then explained what she had been going through since her friend chased her out because she couldn't tolerate her excesses. The next day, Ruby came to Bishop's house with her box. He welcomed her in, ensuring she was okay until she gave birth. They both chatted as Ruby apologized to him, promising to turn a new leaf. The moral lesson of this movie is that living a fake life will only lead to disappointment and regret. True love and genuine character are worth more than lies, pretense, or wealth. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating movies from us. Bye.